Hey guys, welcome back to the Veterans Perspective with your host, myself, Chris. And today I wanted to do a quick video to show an intro about what the channel's goals are, what it's about, and how you can be involved as a viewer and what we can do going forward. So the Veterans Perspective is something I started to really bring back conversations that we as military members had a lot on the boat or in the service because there was a different environment, a different atmosphere where really I feel like a lot of conversations that you don't normally have with people come out. One, due to boredom of being on watch or stuck on the ship. I know a lot of people who were in the military stood midwatch or had to stand some kind of armed guard where you were stuck with someone else. And oftentimes those kind of conversations ended up being the deepest ones you've ever had. And I know that's impossible to recreate without that environment, but I think we can bring back some of that to today's political climate with just talking to people about hard issues and different things. So not necessarily actual political conversations, but anything can be politicized in that sense. So with that in mind, the idea is to bring back conversations like we used to have that were meaningful and real about, be it the Black Lives Matter movement or gun ownership or how you're living your life. So far, we've been talking about post-military life, as I think that's something we've all closely been involved with as veterans. And I don't only want to bring veterans to the conversation and table, but I want to bring the veterans' perspective to the conversation and table around, be it gas prices or how you are integrating in society or you move somewhere new and it feels different, it feels weird, or it's difficult to talk to people and just talk about that, how meeting people has been during the pandemic and how you are just living your life and have those real conversations about what you're struggling with or what you're finding successful. And by using this platform and talking to people on the show and getting your feedback and comments and likes and dislikes, I can hopefully change some of the noise out there and bring a more positive conversation. So I plan on bringing in people to talk about gun ownership and not owning guns. And I plan to bring on my civilian friends who've never been in the military and talking to them about some topics with my background as a veteran and bringing that perspective of kind of the Midwatch conversation where you might be talking to someone who you don't like necessarily, but by evening the playing field and allowing each other to really actually listen to the other person, even if you completely disagree with them and you are totally against what they're saying, if you can come to terms and level the playing field enough to say, I'm going to listen to you, I'm going to hear you, and I'm going to do my best at least to understand your perspective, then I can understand where you're coming from and we can have a real conversation around that. But so much conversation nowadays is about, no, you're absolutely wrong, I'm completely on this spectrum, or you're completely on that spectrum. And people treat it like it's black and white, 0 and 1, absolute. And that's not the case with life. People change, people's perspectives change. And I think the healthy thing to do and go forward with is allow people to have those conversations, come on the show, talk to them, and really listen to them, even if I disagree with them or don't necessarily, in my perspective, like what they're saying. If I can understand where they're coming from, understand them a little better, have that talk, I can walk away one, more educated and more understanding. And I think that's healthy for everybody involved. So if there's something you want to hear or talk about or something you're interested in, like my Levi's oh, wrong side t-shirt my wife got me that says Chris on it, or tattoos or haircuts or whatever it is. I know the pandemic's a hot topic right now, but I want to bring those conversations back. I want to give people real conversations that make sense and not something that's highly scripted, or as you've all seen in interviews, you corner someone and they are too limited in what they can say. They're too afraid to talk about something that might be not politically correct. But if we can bring a conversation where both parties know and the audience knows that we're trying to learn, we're trying to understand, intent is a huge part of it. So I may not know anything about racing cars. And if I bring on a guest who is really into that and understands it, and I always hear those loud cars and I hate them for it, well, now I can talk to them and I can understand a little better and they can understand me a little better. And maybe there's something that can grow from that, which is really what life is all about, talking to people, understanding them and walking away better for both of you. So I'm going to wrap this one up. I just want to do a quick get my thoughts out there on where I'm trying to go with this channel, what we're trying to do, and hopefully you guys can hit that like and subscribe button, which will help me grow the channel, hit a bigger audience, and I can go from there. So if you want to be a guest on the show, send a message to me on the Veterans Perspective, either through the YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. I'm also on Twitter. So in the final note, I want to get your opinions on some ideas for the channel name, because the Veterans Perspective is actually in a lot of platforms out there as Veterans Perspective and some other ones. So ideas right now are Deep Dive, the Midwatch, Hey You, It's Me. So military people will get that one. So those are the top 3 I'm going with right now. Let me know your opinions, and we'll see about going forward with a change. Also, let me know what you think about this great logo. I really like it. It's a periscope and a feather, because I was on submarines. So again, this is the Veterans Perspective. I'm the host, Chris, and I would love to hear back from you guys. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit me up on Facebook or anywhere, and let me know what you think. I appreciate your time. Thanks, everybody.